So
And y'all be eating that Old Bay down there?
man, my wife is
Oh,
from Maryland, man.
okay.
My wife from Elton, Maryland. So she right down the street from y'all. So
Oh,
Yeah.
y'all from she right from up the way, bro. Anytime I told you a long time ago. Anytime you up here, hit me, man.
the
Hit
last
me.
the last time we was up there, my father-in-law had passed, so we was busy on that. So
I understood, but anytime you back up here, please make sure you let me know.
All right. This is another episode of Because I Feel Like a Podcast. Good evening, everybody. We're going to talk to y'all about the NFL divisional outlook, and then also a little bit of WNBA in regards to how the money is rolling over there or how it's not rolling over there. But these are two important topics that we wanted to cover. This is Marcus, man, my guy, and the guy Swerve here. What's going on, fellas?
What's
what's up? What's up?
happening? Good evening. Good evening. I'm outside enjoying life. I'm just happy to be here again. Talk with my dogs, talking sports,
Yeah.
and getting to voice my opinion about a lot of things that's going on. We gonna talk um, football, NFL, and WNBA. And I just want to say before we get started, roll tide,
Hey,
Man, it's a it's
roll
a
tide.
it's a hard it's a hard day to be a Tar Heel football fan.
it's, it's a hard day to be a Lakers fan. The Cowboys traded Micah Parsons, Alabama lost, and Bill Belichick got exposed. It's been a rough weekend for Laker fans.
Yeah, it's bad, man. Woo. 48-14. Yeah, that's
Mm,
man.
mm.
But all right. So we're gonna we're gonna start on the West Coast. So we're gonna start with the NFC West. Um, right now, man, I think people are saying okay, the 49ers are gonna come back. They're gonna bounce back. Right now they're not healthy. For one. Number two, I think I think the Seahawks gonna be better than what people think. Arizona, I don't care. I don't count anything that Gannon does out there. You know what I'm saying?
Until Kyler Murray proved to me he wants to be a football player, I'm not gonna. I'm selling all my stock in Arizona.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be between LA. I think it's gonna be between the Rams. And I'm passing straight over the 49ers. I think it's gonna be between the Rams and the Seahawks. But that's just
Yeah, I
me.
like the Rams.
yeah, I think I got the Rams too for the NFC
If,
West.
Sta- if Stafford is healthy, I like the Rams.
Yeah.
Like if Stafford is healthy,
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I agree.
uh,
Agree.
if Stafford is healthy, I believe. Like what's crazy is the Rams played the Eagles tougher than Tampa called the Eagles when they ain't have no receivers. They was missing Devontae and AJ Brown, and they was missing two tackles.
Right.
And Tampa caught the Eagles on the down week, right? And then the Eagles lost to Atlanta because Saquon didn't hold on to the ball. The Rams played the Eagles on a Sunday night, and Saquon went crazy. And then they played them in the divisional round, and Saquon went crazy. The Rams are probably the fourth best team in the NFC. And if they would have played anybody else but the Eagles in the playoffs, the Rams probably would have went to the Super Bowl. Like if that Eagles team didn't play football last year, the Rams were probably the second best team in the playoffs last year. Second or third because Washington looked really good, but I think the Rams with a healthy Stafford this year are the best team in the West, and I think we don't know what we're going to get from Seattle. We don't know what we're going to get from Sam Darnold because he had a flash in the pan. Like he's 8 years in and decided that he finally realized how to play football. Is that because they are just the coach is that good in Seattle, and he's the new Andy Reid, and he can coach a quarterback, or is that because it all clicked? Like we don't know yet, but we're going to find out in Seattle. Until
What
we
the,
find out what Darnold is, I'm going with the Rams.
Darnold started off his career with the Jets, right?
Right.
Yeah,
I think that is like the quarterback graveyard to start off.
graveyard. Oh yeah,
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 Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah. That's true.
yeah. I mean, you can go there if you already established. It won't be as bad. I think the only quarterback that went there to start off his career and didn't do bad was Sanchez, but because Rex Ryan had that defense so nice, he just needed to do
yeah.
his job with the ball. Which they went to two straight AFC Championship games, which is cool. But that's yeah. I remember when Darnold. You remember when Darnold was it his? Well, I forgot what year it was. They played New England. After the game, he said he thought he saw ghosts out there. Man, I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, it's something you just can't say, man. And
Yeah.
Cowboy Noy, they interviewed him, and he said, "Oh yeah, we the boogeyman." And he said, "Hold on, he really said that?" Like,
He,
yeah,
but
he
he did.
did.
But
Like,
he did beat the Cowboys while he had mono. I do remember
He
that.
did.
He did. He beat the Cowboys and couldn't even get out the bed the day before.
boy,
But
Cowboys
Yeah.
punching
So
him.
he was
go ahead. Go ahead.
he 2018. So what is this? 6 years?
Shit,
If
7
he
years.
2018, 7 years. Year
7 years.
seven.
7. Right. Yeah. I just think.
So Jets.
I think the Seahawks are going to be better than what people think because all the outside of Jackson Smith and the Jigba, and that's really it. And then Kenny Walker's out there. If they stick to a running game with Zach Charbonnet and Kenny Walker, they might be able to do something. You know what I'm saying? And make it a run first, pass second offense, and not always rely on Darnold to do everything. Their defense wasn't bad. It's just that they were put in bad positions last year.
Agreed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think, do I think they'll make the playoffs? No, but I think the Seahawks will give, whether it's the
Would he
Rams.
have a winning record?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you
I
have do you have two
9 and 8.
teams
I have to go 9 and 8.
making the playoffs, or just
Huh?
one?
No,
Just
no.
one team for them. So
Just
just in
one.
case.
That's a one-team division.
One team division, yeah.
Yeah, I think the Rams. It's the Ram. The Rams win the division. Nobody else makes the playoff.
Right.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So that's 1 out of 7. Okay. And probably the Rams probably will end up being the number 3 or number 4 too, right?
Three. I
Right.
think. I think three.
All right. 'Cause
I think the Rams are the three.
I'm finna just take these notes down right quick, just for shits and giggles. All right, I got you.
Yeah.
And let's see West.
So I think I think the Rams win the division. I think the Seattle will be the 8th team
Yeah. I just don't.
because I think
I'm
You think they'll be eliminated week 18, probably?
I respect now.
yeah.
If we're talking about San Francisco, I respect Brock Purdy for where he started. But what I don't, when people say, well, Shanahan did this, Shanahan did that. Look, man, you have to win something. You know what I'm saying? Like you've been in San Francisco for what, 8 years now? He's been there since 2017. You got to win something. You can't just say, "Well, yeah, great." You keep showing up to the Super Bowl, or you show up to the NFC Championship game. You need to win. You know what I'm saying? And then I don't necessarily like how he threw a couple of his defensive coordinators under the bus.
Under the bus.
Yeah, a couple of them.
Under the bus. Under the bus.
The defense wasn't the reason you was losing the games. You was losing
The
games.
defense that
Go ahead.
you didn't know the rules in overtime,
Right.
but you want to blame the defensive coordinator.
It didn't make any sense.
Like realistically, Shanahan is an idiot because Shanahan was the architect behind the 28-3 collapse when Dan Quinn was the Falcons coach. But let them tell it. That's why I said Trump is the greatest president ever because I was golfing with him and he stopped on the 15th hole to fly to Houston and lead the greatest comeback ever in the history of the NFL by quarterbacking the Patriots down 28-3.
Yeah.
He's gonna tell that story when they find out he's not dead. He said he was just gonna relive the glory days where he quarterbacked the Patriots in the Super Bowl from a huge deficit. The deficit was huge. It was a huge deficit. I stopped playing golf to go quarterback the Patriots, and they had the greatest comeback ever in NFL history. The most biggest comeback ever because you know Kyle Shanahan's an idiot. San Francisco has peaked. San Francisco has peaked, and that leads me to the NFC Central or the NFC North. I said the Central, right? I'm just going to hit y'all with something because I think the Detroit Lions have peaked as well. But we'll go there when we get there. But San Francisco has peaked. Sorry, KP. Sorry, Dave. Sorry, Jay Jack, all the 49ers fan, Eddie Barksdale. Y'all blew y'all load. Y'all done got the two. Y'all done got the two Super Bowls. You lost to Pat Mahomes. You lost to Ray Lewis. Y'all down bad. Y'all just the Cowboys that make it a little further. Honestly, if we being honest, the only difference between the Cowboys and the 49ers is they just play 2 weeks later and lose.
Yeah,
Like I'll go ahead.
because I mean, like we know the track record for the Rams. You know the track record for the 49ers. You know the track record for the Seahawks. I'm tired of seeing, you know, you barely hear anything from Kyler Murray, man. Like, what are they doing? They got Marvin Harrison Jr. out there. I don't know how
He
much.
going
What's the running back out there? James Conner. I don't.
James Conner, Pittsburgh boy.
Yeah, they got the
They
kid
got Trey McBride too.
Trey McBride. He's nice out there, but what else is out there? I don't know. The defense that's supposed to be gaining specialty, but I don't hear anything special about them. Nothing.
They drafted Will Anderson, who was better than Jalen Carter coming out the draft, right? Everybody said uh, Will Anderson. Will Anderson was the generational talent from the SEC powerhouse, right? That was Will Anderson.
Yeah,
Alabama. They got Buda Baker. Buda Baker, one of the best safeties in the league.
yeah. But that
I just
particular.
don't.
Go ahead.
It's all on Kyler Murray.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Man, that little bit of old dude. You know what?
Yeah.
When I see him, man, listen, man, that man. I like every now and then when I see an Arizona game, which I probably will watch more now because I got that thing through YouTube TV. Man, when he be running around the pocket, I be kind of laughing. It looks funny because he's so little. You know what I'm saying? And I just didn't. I don't just see them. I don't see not with him. I like him, but just not with him. I don't know, man. I don't. When the last time Arizona has done anything? To be honest with you, when they
When they
was
went to the Super Bowl,
Yeah. It's been about a good 15
yeah,
years,
since
17
since they
years,
went to the Super Bowl.
17 years.
yeah.
So
No,
that's the NFC West.
Well,
Now
they did go to the NFC Championship and lost to the Panthers in 15. So yeah, okay,
yeah.
I get with that. Okay,
Now now
yeah, man.
now to the AFC West.
man.
People are saying, don't pick against the Chiefs until they fall off. Them jokers got kicked in the face last year. They got
Well,
kicked in the face in February.
we're gonna see if they fall off this year. Get that Super Bowl loser thing.
Yeah,
Uh, because in my personal opinion, by looking at their competition in that division, I don't see the Raiders, Broncos, or Chargers. No, I mean, because I want to just go by. We know they got the best quarterback in the division.
Right.
They got the best coach in the division. So I would I would bet on that. Now, if they got a Super Bowl flux. I mean, they got a Super Bowl funk off of losing. I won't be surprised either, because eventually the Chargers and Justin Herbert gonna have to do something eventually. You know what I'm saying? Now with the Raiders and the Broncos, not yet, but because all this talk on Justin Herbert, he hasn't done anything but choke a big playoff game down here,
Yeah.
which what I'm saying. So but I still think AFC West. I think Kansas City will win the division. They might can get another team in there, probably the Chargers. You know what I'm saying? But we just see how it play out. Now I could be wrong on that, but I can see two teams because of the AFC South. I believe because of the AFC South, I can see two teams from the West getting in. If you feel what I'm saying,
Yeah.
you notice we didn't say
Yeah,
that. You notice we didn't say that about the NFC West. That what I'm saying, because the AFC South, and my team's in the AFC South, but we'll save them for later. But we all know that division is only good for one playoff team. So
Yep.
and that's
I
yeah.
feel like this: the Chiefs are going to win the division. Here's why: you have the best coach, the best quarterback, and the best defense in that division.
Mm.
Like, no, the Chiefs' defense last year, the Eagles didn't just beat up on a bottom third defense in the Super Bowl. The Chiefs' defense was a top 10 defense going into the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So I believe that you got Chris Jones. You still got, what's the other corner? Not Snead. They got one of the best corners in the league.
Trent McDuffie.
The linebackers and Spags. Like Spags is a horrible head coach, but he's an amazing coordinator. And Spags is going to make it difficult on whoever they play every week. So I'm not betting against the Chiefs right now. I like the Chiefs to win the division. I think Herbert is trash and overrated. Like we in the two playoff games, we seen him blow a 20-point lead against Trevor Lawrence a few years back, and then we seen him with a 4 interception performance against the Texans. So you're not getting ready to tell me how great Justin Herbert is, because when the lights shine the brightest, Justin Herbert has done nothing but choke. Justin Herbert is the white Rodney Peete.
I think that
The Broncos would be the second best team in that division.
I think the Broncos going to win the division.
I was going to say that. I think it'll be between Kansas City and the Broncos, but both of
I
those teams
think,
will get in. Both of those teams will get in the playoffs.
and the problem, like I don't trust. And if you go backwards, I don't trust Justin Herbert, but I do trust Jim Harbaugh. You know what I'm saying? Like I trust him. I trust him to do. I trust him to do two things right away. I trust him to focus
That's
on the run.
the run game.
Right. I trust him to get bail his quarterback out of trouble when he sees that he's getting into trouble. He's going to do something that that's not, it's not within his wheelhouse, right? As a former quarterback, right? And then once they get a lead, I trust him with a lead because he's going to mow you down with the run game. You know what I'm saying? So I like that's if I had to pick 1, 2, and 3, I would say Denver, and I just don't see. I mean, the Chiefs, right? They've been to the AFC Championship game. What, 7 years in a row, pretty much.
Yeah.
with
Six,
this
7 years in a row.
right. That's a lot of football. That's a lot of football. It's no different than what we said about on the basketball side, the Golden State Warriors. They've played a
Those,
lot of football these last 7 years. If you say if you averaged 18, this is before the 17 the 17 game season. If you've averaged 17 games, 18 games a year for the last 7 years, you almost at 130 games, dude. And that's not counting OTAs. That's not counting training camp. That's not counting the traveling. That's not counting the treatment. That's not counting the injuries. You know what I'm saying? That's just a lot of wear and tear in a car crash each Sunday. You know what I mean? I just think that if any time is their time to take that dip in productivity and wins, it's this year. So if I had to pick 1, 2, and 3, I'm going to pick Denver, and I think 2A and 2B is the Chargers and the Chiefs. Because I think let's say the Chiefs make the playoffs this year, do you trust that they can make another run?
no.
They're gonna eventually gonna run out of gas.
Yeah. How many more years can you run like this with the same team?
But listen, we watched the same thing happen in Philly with Andy.
Yeah.
But I think as long as you got 15 out there, you have a shot. So what I'm banking on the Chiefs being like they added like this is they bulked up on the offensive line. They kept their defense intact. You got Xavier Worthy coming in a year or two, and then you get Rice back after 6, 7 games. You get Rice back in week 8 because he suspended the first 6, and then they got a bye in 7.
Right.
So if Kansas City is 500 after their bye, if Kansas City is 500 going into the bye, which is a strong possibility. Like if we look at the Chiefs' schedule, I'm gonna pull it up now. Um, hold on. So they got the Chargers on Friday. Oh,
Yeah, that's another
look,
thing. I don't like that. I don't like they're playing the Chargers in Brazil.
Brazil.
But again, I don't like how the NFL set that up. And I know I
They
forgot
gave them
my mind because they took a divisional game away at home away from
uh,
the
the
Chargers.
Chargers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not good. I don't like
it's
that.
not. That's not cool, right? So you
And
got the
I don't.
Chargers. Go
What
ahead,
was
Ant. I'm right back. I'm listening.
what are you gonna say?
I
Ian?
understand these international games on growing the game, but I really don't like none of that stuff, really,
I don't either.
because it's
I
like
agree.
prime example. Now I will say this: as much as it sucked, they took a divisional game away. If you're gonna take a game, at least let it be a divisional game, and I'm gonna just tell you the reason why. And we could have our disagreement, but with a divisional opponent, as a fan, that opponent is going to be back there next year.
Right.
Now, Jacksonville goes to London every year, right? Now, I'm not a Jacksonville fan at all, but I will go to a game at occasion. Now, I'll tell you something that was real, real funny. It didn't happen to me because I don't mess with the Cowboys. That's not my thing. But Cowboys have a real big fan base. They
Mhm.
have fans everywhere. So by that being a NFC AFC type of thing, the Cowboys are only gonna come to Jacksonville once every 8 years. They only play each other once every 4 years.
Right.
So, um, what happened? They had, I forgot what year it was. The one game that the Cowboys had here, they sent that over to London. And a lot of people down here that was Cowboys fans are mad. And the reason why made sense. Like, yo, the Cowboys hardly ever come here. why would you send that game over to London when it could have been, Indy, Tennessee, or Houston when they come here every year? You know what I'm saying? Especially like a lot of people kept saying Houston because that would normally be the game that the people that here really don't care about. But I kind of hate those games because especially like I said, a lineup like a lineup like that. Just like prime example, I think it was somebody that Jacksonville was playing, and it was an NFC team, but it was recently. And I thought about going to the game until I found out it was in London. I'm like, man, that team ain't gonna be down here for another 8 years. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? So I'm like, I kind of those international. I understand why the NFL is doing it,
to
but
grow,
I
yeah,
just
grow
don't
the game.
like it
Yeah,
because we know, especially with the NFL, we know there are certain teams that have these super big fan bases,
it's
and
not
especially
anywhere.
if it's an AFC NFC. No one said if it's an AFC NFC thing, just like prime example. I don't know when the next time the Eagles come down here because I don't know what, but when they do, if they still kind of have their core, what they have in tech now, then I'm gonna hop on early to get a ticket for that game because I know that's gonna be a hot seller. Because I
Yeah,
know whenever they come down here, the last time I remember they came down here was 2010. So that means 2018. So that means they might be back here in 2026 season. They might be down here next season if I'm going by every 8 year thing. But the deal is that stuff like that, like no, you know what I'm saying? Like I kind of hate that and see with them bringing that game to Brazil. I thought they was complaining about the field last year. Was that Brazil or was that Mexico that they
it was
complained?
Brazil. The Brazil game, the Paulo. Yeah, the Brazil game was horrible
Okay,
as far as the field wise,
is that
man.
the one where Jordan Love got injured, right?
Yeah, he got injured at the game at the end of the game. Yeah,
So
but
we know they do, and I'm gonna go back to y'all. I know they play in Brazil. They play in Mexico. They gonna always do their London game. They do 3 games over there, right? Do they
right.
do three
Yep.
over there? And do they are they doing it? They still do it in Germany now?
Yeah, I think they do a Germany game too as well. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, man. It's just I just I'm not really the biggest fan of it, but I understand it's bringing in dollars. NFL at the end of the day is still a business. So you
Yep.
know, because one thing we noticed out of all the years, and I will say this, we know the Cowboys have played games overseas, but have any of their home games been taken away? See, it normally be a away game. You
They'll
know,
never be taking. They'll never try to take anything away from them, man.
yeah.
Yeah, Jerry ain't having that. The Eagles just played Jacksonville this year, right? But this
Yeah,
past year, we played Jacksonville and Philly.
they
We
played them.
played Jacksonville and
Oh,
Philly. That was when Saquon handed.
oh, okay. Yeah,
Say,
that's right. That's right. Okay, that's right. So
so
it's
we
gonna be a
looking at another two. Yeah, it's gonna be another 3-4 years before they come down Jacksonville.
You know why I forgot when we went when the NFL went to the 17 game season, it kind of
Yeah.
threw things around in a way. But I'm still going by with the 16 game season and with the inner conference opponents playing once every 4 years. But I think the extra 17 game. I think the extra 17 game is that throw off. I mean, it's not an extra game. It's just the added game. They
No,
added a
you know what? I'm looking at it right. The Eagles are in Jacksonville next year.
So our man right by that 10, well, going from
26. Yeah, 2026. The Eagles are in Jacksonville in 2026.
so the game between Eagles and Jags last year probably was that extra interconference game.
The extra yeah.
Okay. So they come down
And
here
they
then.
both finished at the same spot in their division. They
Well,
come to Jacksonville in 2026.
hopefully that game ain't sent overseas. If it's here, I'm going to it. If it's sent overseas, then it ain't that serious. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the game. That's right. That's the game. Barkley did his Madden all time Madden levels of Madden move. This man jumped on the dude backwards.
yeah. So now,
Oh, but they was clowning that dude down here too. Like, man, hey, bro, ain't nothing you can do about that, dog.
so now we're gonna move. We're gonna move to the NFC North now.
Hmm.
Uh, man,
The Bears.
no,
No,
I think
I'm all in. I'm all in on the Bears.
I think the Packers are gonna win that. I think the Packers are gonna win that division, man. Like If
You think you think
the only thing that's holding the Packers back is that their receivers have hands of stone. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't have. I don't even know why they even wear receiver gloves because they don't ever catch the ball. You know what I'm saying? If they can learn to at least be serviceable at catching the ball, the Packers are going to win that division, man. I
you think
think for me, I think it's Green Bay, Detroit, then Chicago. Who else up there? I forgot who else up there.
Minnesota.
Minnesota. Oh yeah, and then JJ. I just what I'm saying. You gotta see it. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing with JJ. You gotta see it in real time. So because they won what? They won 14 games last year. So anything less
Yeah.
is going to, and that's the crazy thing about that division. Every team in that division made the playoffs. Literally. Every team, all four of them.
No, the Bears didn't make the playoffs.
The Bears didn't make it. The Bears didn't make it.
But the Bears are gonna win the division this year.
But they had they had three teams in that division over 14, or no, two teams in that division over 14 wins. And then you had the Packers with what? 11, 10?
12, 11 or 12.
Yeah, like so anything that the Vikings do is going to be a digression anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I feel as though it's going to be Green Bay. And that's the thing. Yeah, they got Micah right now, man, and that was the one thing they needed. Amongst their receivers catching the ball, that's literally all they needed. Was somebody on the other side of Rashawn Gary to get pressure on the quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think
Go ahead.
Golden was a great pickup. Like they won 11 games last year. They was 11-6. They finished third. I think they was 0-4 against Seattle and Detroit, and then they lost to the Eagles in the first game. And then they lost. Like if you look at it like that, like they literally lost to Minnesota twice, Detroit twice, and the Eagles once in the regular season, and then a loss sprinkled in. So, like, okay, yeah, they lost to the Eagles, they lost to the Vikings, they lost to the Lions, they lost to the Lions, they lost to the Vikings, and then the last game of the season when nothing was on the line, they lost to the Bears. So they're really good. And then you added Golden and Micah Parsons, which is a beautiful acquisitions, right?
Yep.
uh-huh.
And you figure a team that only lost really 5 games last year because that last game didn't matter to the Bears. They rested their guys. So you add Golden and you add Micah Parsons to a team that only lost games to the 3 teams that won 13, 14, and 15 games.
Yeah.
Right? You lost to the 1 seed twice, the 2 seed once, and the greatest wild card team in the history of the NFL. What can you do to improve your team? They went and got a pass rusher, a generational pass rusher, and Micah Parsons. And this is the first time the Packers drafted a receiver in the first round since Javon Walker, maybe. Like, I don't know. Javon Walker, Florida State. Was that the last time the Packers drafted? That's 20 years ago, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Damn,
They did all that. They did all that just to be behind the Bears. Just to be behind. The Bears winning the division. The Bears are the Lions are taking a step back. The Lions are taking a step back this year.
Bears winning the division.
The Bears are winning that division. The Bears are going to be 11-6, 12-5. I'm looking at the Bears schedule, right? I'm looking at the Bears schedule. I like it. I like the Bears so fucking much. Right? DeAndre Swift.
Oh, I don't know.
DeAndre Swift. Listen, look, Chicago Chicago open. Chicago open with Minnesota at home. That's a win.
Against oh wait,
They got
against Brian Flores defense.
JJ McCarthy throwing the ball.
I don't know. I don't know about
They're
that.
gonna open with a win. They got the Lions on the road. That's a loss. They got the Cowboys at home. That's a win. The Raiders on the road. That's a win. Washington at home. Washington on the road. That's a loss. Saints at home. Win. Ravens on the road. Loss. Bengals on the road. That's a toss up. Giants in Chicago. Win. Steelers in Chicago. Win. At the Eagles, loss. At the Packers, loss. Browns at the Bears, win. Packers at the Bears, win. At the 49ers, win. Lions at the Bears, win. The Bears gonna win 11, 12 games this year.
I think they ceiling is 9. I think they floor is 7. So it's either they're gonna be 7-10 or 9-8. You
I
know,
think this. I think they got a defense that if they had any resemblance of, if they had anywhere near offense last year, they would have been 9-8, 10-6. I think you got Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson with that same defense. That's good enough to get you
but
10 wins, 10, 11 wins.
but if you say defense, then right, we can't discredit the fact that Detroit's whole defense was hurt.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So the probability of that happening again, yes, people get hurt, but the probability of it happening again ain't that high. You know what I'm saying? So if they just had their starting defense, that would tell you that is at a minimum they would be even with the Bears. So anything above that would make them better. That's just my opinion though. You
but
know
I
what
think this though, we 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 discount the Aaron Glenn factor.
I'm saying? Yeah, but Kelvin Shepard ain't bad either. I mean, he was right there with him.
Yeah, there's differences though. I just think the Bears gonna be. I think the Bears winning. I think the Bears winning North. That's my sleeper.
Yeah, and then so we got that, and then so right now, I guess we might be in disagreement with the AFC or the NFC North. But if we get to the AFC North, obviously, it's Lamar. I want to say, look, man, I'm gonna go out on a limb. I know that limb is probably really, really flimsy right now. I think I think the Bengals gonna win. I think the Bengals may win the division this year. I think so. I just think that you got Trey Hendrickson on a 1 year deal. You signed it for 30 mil for 1 year. They actually played their. I think they're going to take the first part of the year. The first part of the. I think they're going to take the first part of the year seriously this year. You know what I'm saying? I don't. I don't think they can mess around and go 1-4, or go 2-4, 2-5, and then try to work their way out of it. I think they've gotten it, because if they haven't gotten it, I think the coach is out on his. It was on his way out. You know what I'm saying? I don't think there's a choice there. If they don't at least get past the first round of the playoffs, or go to the divisional round, I think he's going. And that's just me. You know what I'm saying? We already know what Lamar is made of. We already, pretty much. I want to say that, at 42 years old, that Aaron Rodgers at least needs to be serviceable, right? He needs to at least be serviceable. I'm not asking him. I'm not even asking him to play all 17. If he gives you 15, that okay. But at least be serviceable while you're out there. You know what I'm saying? Anything Aaron Rodgers being serviceable is better than in Russell Wilson, man. Like I think that I think that's just enough said right there. But
So
what do
you
y'all?
just saying you need him to just be better than Mason Rudolph.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Just be better than Mason Rudolph, man. You know what I mean? And it ain't even worth. It's not even worth talking about the Browns. Like
Yeah,
it's very. I'm so disappointed in their organization. Not the players. Well, Deshaun Watson, but I'm just so disappointed in who they are when they really shouldn't be that way, man. Like they were given every opportunity to get out of the crap they were in, and the owner put them right back into some more crap. You know what I'm saying? Like if you weren't going to there's no reason why Joe Flacco is even there, man. You know what I'm saying? For what reason? I would rather you just put them young guys out there and let them sink or swim and learn on their own. If you're going to keep a vet on the roster, have that vet as a backup, but let the young guys play. You know what I'm saying? But for him to do that to them, I don't think that's cool at all. So who do y'all think would win? I mean, obviously, I probably think each of y'all, let's say the Ravens. What do y'all think? Who y'all think gonna win the division?
well, I mean, yeah, I got the Ravens, but I mean, I can see what you're saying with the Bengals. Like, I'm not now Cleveland, no, and Pittsburgh, no. No, it's either them two. I mean, I just go with the Ravens just cause, but I wouldn't be shocked if Cincinnati wins it. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, yeah, man. So then now,
See,
go ahead, Mark.
the Bengals start slow,
Yeah,
right?
yep.
If the Bengals, like, let's say, I'm gonna say this: if the Bengals are 1-3, let's see who they start with.
Let me see.
So they got the Browns, the Colts. Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong shit. My bad. Uh,
Browns, the Jaguars,
Browns, Jaguars, Vikings,
Vikings,
Broncos.
Broncos. Ooh,
They could easily be 4-0 because they should beat the Browns, right? They should beat the Browns.
right.
They should beat the Jaguars. The Vikings on the road. We don't know what McCarthy is. That's a
Broncos.
winnable game. And then the Broncos at home. Like the Bengals realistically should be 3-1 when we end September.
Yeah,
I think they should be 4-1 with their schedule. I
yeah,
mean, 4
Yeah,
no, no. I think they can.
4-0.
Yeah, they can win all those games. I think that Minnesota one might could be a little tricky, but the other three, it's no reason they should lose them first two games at all.
No,
So
they should be 2-0 going into Minnesota.
yep, yep.
And then Minnesota trigger. And I'm giving the Broncos because Sertain's going to take Chase away. So that's going to be a T. Higgins. Burrow got to get with T. Higgins and figure out what's going on. But they could be 4-0. Best case scenario. Worst case scenario, they should be 3-1. If they're less than 3-1, they're not winning the division. Because you come back to the Lions, you got the Lions, the Packers, the Steelers, the Jets, the Bears, the Steelers. That's a rough 6 game. That's a rough 6 game stretch. If you 4-0, if you going into October 4-0 with that 6 game stretch, and you come out 7-3 after that 6 game stretch, you sit good. But if you 2-2,
And ooh, because they got once they get out of September, they got the Lions. They got the Lions and the Packers looking them right in the face,
in the face, back to back,
back to
Lions,
back,
Packers, back to back.
back to back. Yeah,
Lions at home, Packers on the road. Then you got a divisional game with the Steelers on a Thursday,
yep.
and then you come back with the Jets because I think Aaron Glenn gonna have them boys flying around after I think after 3 weeks, the Jets defense is going to be good. So
It can get
it's,
ugly.
it's, it's, it's it can get ugly. And then after you finish with the Steelers in November, you have the Patriots, which is a winnable game, but then they still haven't played the Ravens yet.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Ooh,
you're looking at them going into November, and if they not 7-3, 8-2, you know what I'm saying? You get the you get the Patriots, which is at home, which is a winnable game. But then you play Baltimore and Buffalo back to back. You play Baltimore, Buffalo,
Baltimore,
Baltimore.
Baltimore. Yeah, that could be your season right there,
Exactly. You
early.
go 0-3 there, and if you ain't 4-0, and then you go for even if you go 4-0 and you split that six in the middle and you 7-3, you come out 7-3, and then you go Baltimore, Buffalo, Baltimore back to back. You might be 7-7 at the end of the month.
Yeah, for real. Yeah. So I think we all in agreement that we got Baltimore winning that division. Now
Yeah, I think Baltimore.
we're gonna get to Ants area, and we're gonna go to AFC South.
Huh.
Ooh man, like it's really. I mean, if we really going we
Houston.
really going to scroll. If we really just going to scroll through that division, man, I just think it's pretty much
Houston.
Houston,
I would say
Houston,
this.
Houston, and everybody else.
Okay, Houston is theirs to lose. Now, let's see. You gotta say Houston look against other teams. Now, I will say this. This is the year that Lawrence gonna have to put up a shut up. All right.
Yeah,
Because
yep.
Tennessee got Cam Warren, young cat, and man, that mess up in Indianapolis. That's just a thing. I mean, I don't know who is Daniel Jones. So, it's Houston. It's a one team making a playoff. Houston, they should, in my personal opinion, they should sweep the division. Now, with the other 11 games, they need to win. Shoot, they need to go at least 6-5 in the other 11 games, but I doubt it. They probably go like 5-6. You
I
know what
think
I'm saying? And go like 11-6 in the
6.
season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think it'd be because I just yeah, it's pretty much going to be Houston and then everybody else because I don't like you covered Jacksonville. I don't trust anything with Daniel Jones in front of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He-
And then Cam Ward is, I mean, I think 10 might be my personal opinion. I have to go look at Tennessee's full schedule.
yeah,
If they even win 5 games,
5 games. Yeah. Ooh,
I'll be okay, cool. Anything more than that, they're just pushing it. I just don't see it. And this division is just basically, it's the laughing stock of the league. There's only one Super Bowl title
right.
amongst the teams in total. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
In total. So, well, if you want to, yeah, well, you can say two. That old. Well, I'm talking about since the division been realigned.
Good line.
I,
Yeah.
I think they have less than any, don't they? Yeah,
So
I think
I,
so.
I'm looking at the Texans schedule. I think the winner.
Mm.
Sound like he broke up. He
He
said
broke up. Yeah.
winner or something.
Yeah. I think.
I said the winner in this division might have a losing record.
Damn. Hold on, I'll be right back. I'll be right back while he do that.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Because look, the Texans the best team in the division.
Yeah.
They got Tampa at home, which is a winnable game, but I think Tampa's better than Houston. Then they play Jacksonville. They should beat Jacksonville. They should beat the Texans. But then they got the Ravens on the road, Seattle on the road, 49ers at home, Broncos at home, Bills at home, Chiefs on the road, Cardinals at home, Raiders at home, Chargers on the road. Like They don't have a lot of games where you could be like outside of the division. The Texans don't have a lot of games where you're just like, yeah, the Texans are going to win. Like, nah, they might be.
I, I just don't see. I don't. Man, I think it's pretty much Houston, and then Houston and everybody else just riding coattails, man. Like I don't really. It's sad to say it, but it's just I don't. What I mean, this is the division mediocre, man.
Man,
You
that
know what I'm
division
saying?
Mhm.
gonna be.
It's a mediocre division, and it's because of coaching, uh, bad personnel decisions. You know what I'm saying, and then horrible quarterbacking.
I'm gonna just say
Yeah,
this. I'm gonna say this. When Peyton Manning was in the division, that was the only good thing. When we went to this alignment, well, at first with him and McNair, and then McNair, he had eventually had went on, but as long as Peyton Manning was with the coach, the division it had some good stuff going for it because of the deal with the Colts and the Patriots. But when he went out and Andrew Luck came in, yeah, it was a little life here and there, but you know what I'm saying? That division, man, that division booty, man. You know what I mean, it is.
Yeah, yeah, man.
I
All
just,
right.
yeah.
So now we're gonna venture down. We're gonna stay down south. We're gonna go to NFC South. I'm. Ugh. I think Atlanta I think Atlanta makes the playoffs this year, man. I think and if they're making the playoffs,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
means only one team out. Yeah, one team, maybe two, make it out of there. One is definitely making it out of there. But I think Atlanta wins the division this year. I understand. I understand that. Tampa Bay down there. I understand. Baker's salvaged his career and he's gotten better and he's gotten. Mike Evans. He's got a receiving core down there. I think Bryce, and those guys in Carolina are still a year or two away from from really competing. You know what I'm saying, and making it hard, making it tough for teams. But I feel as though, like right now, man, I like Penix. You know what I mean? I like him. I like the two legged the two headed running back committee they got with Algier and Bijan down there, and I like Drake London and those guys they have and elsewhere, and hopefully, finally, this will be the year they actually allow what's my man from Philly, Kyle Pitts, to actually be a part of
Kyle Pitts.
be a part of the offense, man. They let that man suffer out down there for 4 years because they ain't never give him the ball enough. You know what I'm saying? But I think this is the year that they get it right, man. I think they win this division, and I think they win it either 10-7 or 11-6. What do y'all think?
To Houston?
No, I'm talking about for the
Oh,
NFC
I'm
South.
sorry, my bad. But Atlanta.
Yeah,
Atlanta. Oh, my bad. I say you did say Atlanta, but yeah. Yeah, because Carolina and New Orleans, I mean, Tampa might do a little something, but I can see Atlanta winning 11 games this year.
yeah. What you think, Mark?
Now Tampa Bay gonna win the division easy. I want Atlanta to be good because Raheem Morris down there, and I just want to root for brothers. Like, but I'm not like Penix. Penix has to show me a little more growth, and I think with him losing his right tackle, like they're scrambling, that they're losing his right tackle because Penix is a left-handed guy, so losing that right tackle that they just re-signed, I think is going to play a huge part into that. You got Bijan. They got they Drake London. Like they're all the Atlanta is relying on all of their young guys to take the next step.
Right.
Like it's not one position that needs to take the next step. Like it's literally their whole offense. So you got London, who's a third year receiver who needs to. He's the clear cut number one now, right? So London's the number one. London has to take the step. You got Bijan, who as clearly, if you're following like fantasy talk, like Bijan is supposed to be the best running back in the league this year, right? So
Right.
Bijan has to take that step to be that guy that people expect Bijan to be. You have Kyle Pitts, who has been nothing but disappointing so far, and you're relying on Kyle Pitts to take that next step. And you have Penix, who played well in spots. He isn't great. He wasn't horrible. He wasn't great. But you're relying on Penix to take the next step. So if the best player in every position has to take the step for you to be great, I don't think all five guys are going to take a step. I don't think Pitts, London, Bijan, Penix are all going to be great at the same time this year.
True.
So I'm going with Tampa. I'm going with Baker. Baker is sneaky. Baker's been sneaky good. I hate Baker Mayfield. I said he would be working at a Wawa when Cleveland drafted him 5 years after they drafted him. He's had a rebirth and he's done really well. The people always talk about Jamar Chase and T. Higgins or Jay Jettis and Justin Addison as the great 1-2 punch when it comes to receivers. You got to throw AJ and Devontae in there, but you can't discount a healthy Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, and then the Ibuka there as the third receiver, and they're getting the fourth guy who was decent last year when Godwin got hurt, coming back on IR. So Tampa's going to air the ball out. Tampa's going to be formidable offensively. They probably still won't be able to run the ball, but Baker's going to throw that thing, and Baker's going to throw for 4,500, about 35 touchdowns.
But then
Right, so Tampa,
but then they lose their offensive coordinator to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
yeah, they did,
Yeah.
they
So
did, but I still,
Go ahead.
I take them minus their coordinator over anything else in that division. Like I just don't believe in Atlanta. Like Atlanta has no identity. Atlanta has no identity. Like if you look at the Eagles, like last year they was a run heavy team, but they still got dogs on the outside. Like Stafford, the Rams, they got Puka and Devontae out there. They had Cup and Puka last year. They was going to pass it to you, but you still had Karen Williams in the background. Like Washington was Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels making magic happen. Like who on Atlanta? Like Bijan is great. Like the Lions last year, you had Sonic and Knuckles, right? Like and then after you tried to stop Sonic and Knuckles, they hit you with a crowd. You got St. Brown and Jameson Crowder. Atlanta doesn't have that. Atlanta don't got nobody. Bijan is cool. Drake London don't scare me. Like I put Q on Drake London. I'm fine with Q being on Drake London all day. Like and Q ain't even like Q wasn't even rated a top 10 cornerback in the league. You feel what I'm saying?
yeah.
I'm fine with Q. If I put Q on London, what does Atlanta have? Mooney? Is Mooney? That's what they got. They hit us with a lucky shot from Mooney. Like Atlanta, nothing Atlanta has on their team is scaring me. Tampa wins that division.
Here,
Tampa wins that division 11-6.
here's a counter to that though, right? Those same folks, right? The,
Mhm.
the Buccaneers lost to an upstart Commanders team. Really, they got smoked, right? And what actually did the Commanders have outside of Daniels and Scary Terry?
So if they
Nothing.
couldn't, if they couldn't stop Daniels and Scary Terry, how they gonna stop Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and
No, no,
Ibuka?
no, 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 no. I'm talking about the Buccaneers. They lost to them in the playoffs.
Oh yeah, they lost it. Yeah, but so how? What does Atlanta have other than Drake London? Kyle Pitts is trash. If we being honest.
What I'm saying is, would a year more, would another year of experience was Penix to have this year? was another year of experience. What's Bijan I have this year was another year of experience with Algier I have this year. And I think their defense will be better this year as well. There's nothing that says they can't be neck and neck with with uh with 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 Tampa Bay. You know what
I
I'm saying?
think Tampa Bay was sleeping on Washington because they had already beat them.
Yeah.
I don't
So
like Atlanta. I don't like. I I I just think like Atlanta. Atlanta, that team with all the names, like they the team you play with on Madden.
but then you but see and then we get off of it. But you can say the same thing about Tampa. They got all the great all the receivers is 95,
Yeah,
88. But
yeah. I think Tampa.
and
I
then they got
agree.
Bucky Irvin, and then they got the other boy back there in the backfield, and they still
Yeah,
got
they,
smoke.
they both they both teams that you play with on Madden, but I think Tampa's still better than Atlanta.
So then if we
I,
then we're gonna move we're gonna go through the AFC pretty quick. AFC East pretty quick. It's pretty much Buffalo and then whatever.
Buffalo and everybody else.
Yeah, that's pretty. I think we're all consensus on that. And I think now the NFC East. I think is pretty much it's. I don't want to say the Eagles and everyone else. The Eagles will be number one. The Commanders will be two. I just
Let's
have
see,
no.
it's how many teams y'all put in the playoffs? Two or three?
Two, two.
Two,
Right.
two. The Cowboys ain't making the playoffs, man. I don't even think it's a thought.
You know what? The Cowboys gonna have the most prolific offense in the league and be 8-9.
They're gonna be the greatest team ever on turf to play and make
To be 8-9.
and make up in scrap time when they down
Mm-hmm.
30 to 50, 30 to 4, 30 to 17 with 1 minute to go. That's when Dak gonna get all of his yards. Now will they have a good offense? Yeah. But I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I just think that I think Jerry Jones messed this up so bad, man. Like I don't understand. Like that team, if he leaves, let's say, we pretty much know it's going to be, you know, the Eagles and then the Commanders. But the fact that Jerry let his pride get into all of this instead of just letting the agent do his job. I don't care what nobody's saying. There's no way I'm trading. I'm trading Micah for 2 first-round picks that for sure right now the Packers with Micah you can say there are
20s.
11 or 12 win team easily. So let's just say, for example, the Packers get to the division round, right? Now that now now
24.
21 or 22. They get to the conference championship game. At a minimum, that pick is at 28. At a minimum. And then with their track record of picking defensive linemen or defensive guys or ends,
You're going to get Taco Charlton.
yeah, like Mozzie Smith, you can't
Miley
even
Smith, Taco Charlton.
you can't even get him on the field. Like, what were you thinking? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just we're gonna push the whole time on that, man. It's pretty much the Eagles, the Commanders, the Cowboy, and I'm willing to even put the Giants before the Cowboys.
Dang.
Yeah, man. Like, I just have no faith. I have no faith in Jerry Jones, man.
Yeah, I get that.
I have a little bit, and I still laugh at Joe Shane for every minute I see Saquon in any commercial or any video that comes up. But I just don't have any I don't care for Jerry Jones anymore. Like I don't even. It's like I can't even pick with Cowboys fans anymore, just out of the fact that I just do not like Jerry Jones whatsoever. I don't care what his past is. I respect how he made his business, but I don't respect how he treats players. I just don't. I don't. I'm sorry. I'm not, and we're not going to cuss about
Me
it.
neither.
I'm just telling you what it is. I don't trust him whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? So that's the NFC East, man. I wanted to touch on. So we got that done. I wanted to touch on the WNBA girls real quick, man.
Oh Lord.
Ladies, I just I think a lot of the teams are subsidiaries of what the NBA teams, right? A lot of owners are NBA owners, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Mm-hmm. Except
For the most part, yeah.
except the Connecticut Sun.
Yeah, except for the Sunny, because they were owned by the tribe. That's up
Yeah,
there.
man. They all right. You want to hear my thought on it? I follow them a lot. It's there are some conflict of interest. That league, I'm gonna tell you like this. That league is badly ran. There are a lot of conflict of interest that you would not see in any other league, like any other professional league we talk about that takes their league serious. I think the deal, before I come to this pay, I think the deal with the WNBA is this. Before Caitlin Clark got there, and I'm telling you, because before she got there, it brought more attention because you had more newer fans coming in, which is a good thing because you can't be out here crying for attention. But a lot of these ladies, they did a lot of stuff that was because not that many people talked about them. A lot of stuff just went on business as usual. But what's going on now with these ladies is a lot of they BS that they be pulling is coming out more in the light. And what I mean by conflict of interest, I want to go back. All right. The main two people are pushing this are Brianna Stewart and Nafisa Collier. They are the ones, they're the founders of this unrivaled league.
Right.
They be promoting unrivaled doing WNBA stuff. Now, just imagine we've been talking about all this football. Just imagine if a couple of NFL players uh be trying to promote some other league. Man, Roger Goodell gonna be like, He gonna and the deal is Roger Goodell is gonna make sure because the commissioner works for he works for the owners. He'll put out to whatever owner of that particular team, like, hey, y'all need to, handle that before I step in over y'all. But also the revenue sharing. So I think y'all do know this. They get 9%. That's what their revenue sharing,
Yeah.
and they want a higher revenue sharing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that them and the owners, there's a lot of pride going on. I don't think the owners, the of the 13 teams, well, 12 are owned by somebody, and you take the Sun. I think the owners don't they will give them an increase in revenue sharing, but not the type of increase that some of these ladies actually think that they want. Because to be to be honest with you, I don't know how many games you watch, but I mean how many games y'all watch, and I don't miss I don't really question because a lot of people don't really watch this stuff, and it's nothing against them. So the 13 teams that play there, really the teams that really when you see their games and there's actually you see people in stands.
Yeah.
Besides Indiana, you seeing this with this new Valkyrie team, Valkyries.
Mm-hmm.
You see it a little bit out of New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, New York guy. You see some out of Phoenix.
In
Um,
Vegas.
but Vegas is kind of. But see, okay, this is the wild thing with the Vegas thing. What people don't people don't know. They be comping those tickets to people too. Cause what's in Vegas? You know what I'm saying?
Casinos.
Casinos. They be comping a lot of those Aces tickets. Um, so I think that I think it's going to be a lockout, but I think the lockout will be over with by the time the new season come around. You know,
I think if they
I think it's going to happen because I think that I think some of these players are actually delusional. You know what I'm saying? Delusional. But the deal is, the commissioner of that league, Kathy Engelberg, yeah, it's so much conflict of interest. Like I saw a video that during the All Star weekend, she was out in the bar with these players having drinks up and partying with them. And I'm like, nah, dog, like that's like big company. So it's a lot of conflict of interest that goes on
Yeah,
in that league. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And it's one of the ones that I can. I feel like I can speak on it because I've been watching it for a very long time. I don't really I don't really try to shame nobody that just started watching it in the past 2 or 3 years. I'm like, all right, cool, that's what's up. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I just don't like when they speak on it and they speak on some stuff that you know that they really didn't do no research on because
yeah,
their research is not that hard. It's just a lot of times it's easy for that particular league when people talk about it that you can say some BS and you don't get questioned on it. And a lot of times, and I will say this, and I'm not trying to, not trying to sound sexist at all. A lot of it is the women fans or the so-called wannabe fans that in the women's side of the house. And when you get to, you just let them talk. You let them talk when you hear them out. And when you point out what they're talking about incorrectly, you have the receipts and you show them instead of just be like, okay, cool, let me do my research. It comes a double down. That's why the hardest part about the last 2 years when it came to that sport, talking about anything of that sport, is talking to because you're gonna interact a lot with a lot of female fans. And most of the female fans, no, I say about half of the female fans, they actually cool, you can talk, but then you got some, they're gonna always go on this defense because their whole thing is when talking to a man, they're gonna think that we assume that they don't know what the hell they're talking about. And I don't want to do that. I don't assume that. But when I start hearing you saying some stuff that's wrong, and I do have, what I'm saying, when I do have the receipts and information to show you this, instead of you just, what I'm saying, just sitting back and chilling, be like, okay, and I give you the resources to where you can find this info, you just doubling down. So I kind of like, especially last 2 years, been kind of hard talking to folks about this stuff because of just how it goes. But I think it's going to be a lockout. Um, and one thing about with the WNBA is it was funny and we're unrivaled. They don't like to open up their books. So when people don't like to open up their books, I really be thinking there's some funny stuff going on. Yeah, in my personal opinion. And but if the players, if they because the deadline to this is in October. So I think that's gonna be around when that deadline happens. I don't think it's going. It might make major news for about a day or two because there's so much stuff going on. You're gonna be the NFL gonna be right up in the middle of it, getting in. Well, we're gonna be talking more NFL. You're gonna have college getting ready to start how they're gonna be predicting their playoff thing. You're gonna have baseball getting down there ending, right? And then you're gonna have best NBA getting ready to work back up. So these ladies, I mean, it is what it is. That's just how I look at it. So I I
I agree, man.
I heard
Yeah.
I don't agree. See, with the revenue sharing in the NBA is like 49 or 50%, something like that. And I tell people you cannot, please do not make a direct comparison to what the fellas do. The fellas is bringing in revenue. Y'all not bringing in revenue like that. It is what it is, and no matter how much people try to say that they are, the numbers are out there to prove you wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's just that simple. So I think the revenue for them, I think they'll be between 25 and 30%. I don't know how much. If you think about it, they play a 44 game season. I don't know how much. I don't know around how much they think they really want. And another problem that I don't know if you know this or not, some of these WNBA players they complain too much about. All right, so I don't know if you know who Satu Sabli is. She plays for
Yeah.
the Phoenix Mercury,
Mm-hmm.
but she complains about back to backs, and I think in the I think each team probably do two back to backs the whole season, right? But check out the back to back they did. She plays for Phoenix, right? They had a game on Thursday in Vegas, and then the next game was in Phoenix. It wasn't like it's a cross country trip. You know what I'm saying? And she's complaining, talking about player safety. But then again, this is where I'm gonna come back. What I said earlier is that now a lot of the silliness that they done with more fans out, we call them out they BS. Satu Sabali has admitted now. But I'm gonna tell you this, you finna laugh. She's admitted when she practices, she only practices like for an hour a day. So it's little stuff like that. It's little stuff like that that they want us to take them very, very serious, but they don't take
Nah,
themselves very serious. I think some of them. I think you do have some ladies who love the game, and I think you have a lot of ladies who I think they love what the game can do for them financially. You know what I'm saying?
so like I heard that the main issue in the CBA was they was okay with tripling the pay, right? So it was they was gonna get paid, but they didn't want to play back to back. Back to backs was one of the key issues as to why they didn't sign the CBA.
They only pay like 30
I'm gonna be
games.
real. Yeah, yeah, they play 44 games.
44
I'm gonna
games.
be real with you. I'm gonna be real with you. Like if the WNBA goes on strike, if the W fam ain't nobody but us who really appreciate the game checking for them to begin with, right? Like if you take away the Caitlin Clark fans, the red hat, those mediocre white men, like if you take away the mediocre white men who support that Mel Gibson looking ass lady, right? Like, and I know you watch the games. I watch the games. Like, I watch Collier. I love Collier. Paige, Dallas need to put some more around her, but she's going to be a problem. Like Asia's doing Asia things. Like, and with Collier being hurt, Asia playing. Like, it's a bunch of talented women who don't get the credit they deserve. Then Frankenberries comes into the league, and all the maggots come
Oh,
in, and they
yeah, we got what?
All right,
Yeah,
so I'm gonna say this,
if, if
and
the worst thing this let me say the worst thing they can do is go on strike because you built this momentum from Angel Reese. Then you had the Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, the chick out LA, right?
right.
Then you back it up with Paige, like you're gaining momentum. The last thing they want to do is have a stoppage of work because look at what happened with baseball, and a lot of white people love baseball. And baseball went on strike, and it took them to juice the balls and Sammy Sosa and Mark McGuire to bring baseball back. But baseball still hasn't recovered. So you think if baseball hasn't recovered 25, 30 years later, nobody gonna care if the WNBA go on strike. Guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna sleep with my TV on 16 and the fan on high, and I don't care. Like, and this is somebody who supports the league. Like, if the WNBA goes on strike, I don't care. If the NFL went on strike, I'm gonna be sick. I'm gonna be sick if the NFL go on strike.
yeah,
WNBA go on strike, I don't care. I'll go watch the boys' high school team down the street.
Yeah.
I know people got they just say. I'm gonna just say this. I'm gonna tell you this as a Clark fan. Now I'm gonna just say it like this, all right? Because I have to watching. I know she's been injured, and honestly, I don't think she needs to come back at all. I have my reasons for that. Not come back this year at
They
all.
play. They moved the ball. They moved the ball without her. They play. Indiana plays way better offensively. And what's the point guard? What's the two guard?
I
What's
agree
the
with you on that one. And if you look at their numbers, they're they are worse without her. They give up more points. They score less. Um, and they have more turnovers. And the problem is, all right, so you're talking about Kelsey Mitchell. Okay, the deal with Kelsey Mitchell has been there since 2018. When
mhm.
you when you've been on a team for so long and that team has always been losing, she's always been able to score a lot of points on bad teams, right?
Right.
She's Kevin
So
Love. She's the Kevin
so
Love, Chris Bosh.
so what happened is because a lot of the things that people I get that people criticize Kayla Clark for, you could definitely criticize her that for. But that team, Kelsey Mitchell she didn't even know what the experience of playoffs until Clark got there. She had her best season statistically last year. Aaliyah Boston the
She
same.
did.
The problem with Clark is, and like I said, every player has their flaws. The problem with Clark is you know what I'm saying, is that it could be some games where she just shoot too much. But I will say this: if it's a game that you're not really getting a lot of points out of her, you can still see that you're going to get some assists. The deal with Kelsey Mitchell was up and down. She's a seesaw. There are some games where she can give you 30, and then there's some games she's only going to get you 12 or 13 points. And besides scoring, she can't give you nothing else because she's not a good defender at all. And I know she's not. Just watch her play. She's not a good defender. Uh,
But neither their backcourt can't defend.
you say what now?
Neither can Clark. Their backcourt is trash
Oh no, no.
defensively.
See, the deal is everybody knows Clark can't defend. That's the narrative. That's the whole narrative, and everybody knows that. Nobody ever question that. But the deal is, if you look at defensive numbers, as bad as Clark is, he actually he averaged more steals than Mitchell. And that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not saying I ain't saying she's a great defender. The problem with Indiana this year is not Clark, it's not Mitchell, it is that head coach. Because that Indiana team was built to run last year. Stephanie White came in here this year and brought number one. Natasha Howard is old, right? We're talking about before all these injuries.
Very old.
All right, she
She's
brings
old.
in the one Bonner. Now I think the one Bonner. I think this. It's something snaky about that. It's something snaky about that move, right? She brings in Brianna Turner, and then instead of having an offense, right? Because Indiana, y'all drafted her. Why are you trying to play a motion offense with Clark? That doesn't even make no sense. You know what I'm saying? You can't play no motion offense with her. She's a react player. If you're gonna, there's some things with that type of player I've learned with that type of player, the way how she plays, there will be games where her turnovers will go up, and the reason why because some of those passes that she tries, the only other point guard who might even think about trying that is Chelsea Gray. That's it. A lot of these players, they don't really. We're talking about the W side. They do the safe plays, right? So you add that, and yes, there's some games. There are 2 or 3 games where she didn't had 10 turnovers, but then you also had a game, 2 or 3 games where she didn't had almost close to 20 assists. So the problem with this Indiana team is that with that coach, they have the wrong type of coach for that personnel, and then also with Indiana, they players are literally soft. Aaliyah Boston is soft, but I've been seeing that for even so when she was at South Carolina. Now, I do get. I want to talk about the Caitlin. I'm gonna talk about the two types of. I'm gonna talk about the Caitlin Clark fans. You got 2 types of fans. You got the fans like myself who's gonna talk basketball, discuss her flaws and all this, right? And give her criticism just like everybody else. And then you got the fans, the Caitlin Clark fans, who are not really Caitlin Clark fans. They're not even really fans of the WNBA or basketball. They're using her as the proxy of they're using her as the proxy of the of their little racial tactics, right? And I get on them because I get on them a lot too because a lot of them they be saying dumb stuff. They're like, hey, nah, but I get on them as much. Now, what happened was because this stuff because this stuff what happened it all came from that championship, right? The national championship for 2023 and the stuff what Angel Reese did, right? And like I said, okay, that's 2023. Why are people still talking about that? But folks, they just can't let it go, right? They can't let it go. So when it comes to this, you know what I'm saying? There are plenty before Clark got here. Yeah, there are plenty of good players in the league, right? A lot of them players didn't really get the recognition to shine because people really wasn't just watching the product as a whole. And if you take Clark away and she didn't come in, they still won't be talking about them. See, all these years Kelsey Mitchell been there. Kelsey Mitchell, nobody really talking about her. I'm just talking about unless you were just deep a diehard Indiana fan because you'd be like, yeah, she averages 17, 18 points a game, but Indiana only winning 5, 6, 7 games. Who cares? They didn't really show progression till Aaliyah Boston got there, right? Now with the Agent Wilson, and this is what people got to understand when they say face of the league and best player, they get it mixed up. Agent Wilson is the best. Agent Wilson is the best player in the league. Her and the future Kaya. It is what it is. But they don't move. They don't move like
Another beer.
they don't move like that. You
Have
know what
another
I'm saying?
beer in my cup.
And I think that's the problem where a lot of people are they're trying. There a lot of people are failing to understand that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, of course, uh, I tell people that all the time. I said, yeah, I said because you take Clark away, and then you just see because I know a lot of people because a lot of people they're banking on Juju. I said you got to see. Let's see how Juju comes back from this injury first. Don't put too much pressure on her. Now, when it comes to Paige, I'm gonna tell you something that's wild with Paige. So I watched the game where she scored 44 on the Sparks, and I was watching. I had to start watching closely once she got points. So I said, okay, why aren't this team actually trying to defend her properly? Well, somebody told me, oh, because Paige has a bag. I said, no. I said, no, look at this spacing. I said, I understand why. How I understand why Paige is scoring so easily. She get the ball, and they're not even. I'm not saying be all in her grill, but you just giving her all the space to roam and all that. And then the very next game they played against Seattle, and Seattle was fighting for a playoff spot. Now, Seattle, they did a whole different defensive scheme, and she couldn't score but 11 points. And of those 11 points, 6 was off of free throws. Then the game after that, they played Golden State, another team fighting for playoff thing, and she only scored 9. So I'm like, okay. Sometimes I feel like sometimes you gotta look at how the defensive play on page at time because if you give, I would say this, even if you give any of them players space like that, you know what I'm saying? They gonna score easily. And the only somebody who I saw for the Sparks playing straight up defense on Page was Kelsey Plum, but Page is smart. Page is 6 feet tall and Kelsey Plum is 5'7". She posted her up and shot over. And that's I mean, nothing you could do about that. But when I watch like Lakeia Jackson and Ray Burrell and all them, and I'm like, what are y'all doing now? The problem I had with Paige that one game, she scored 44 points. Remember, she shot 17 for 21, right? Outstanding. So I'm gonna say this, and I don't care. People can get on me all day.
Yeah.
You up by 1 point. You up by 1 point, right? Dallas up by 1 point. Paige
Yeah,
has
smart.
44 points. She has 44 points. She shot 17 for 21. The ball is in her hand. Don't the ball better not leave your hand. I'm talking about she passed it. If she would have kept that drive, Ray Burrell was going to foul her. You had a defender beat and you passed it. And I'm like, nah. And you know, when I was bringing that up, you know, people was trying to come back, well, no, she made the best basketball play. I'm sorry. If you 17 for 21, I'm taking my chances for you that night. I'm sorry. I mean, because like I said, because even if you know they lose, you'd be like, well, hey, she was 17 for 21. Now unless she's trying to take on 4 players, that's dumb. But when you have a defender beat and you just pass out of it. But like I said, I think Dallas, in my personal opinion, I'm gonna watch how Dallas plays this because that Dallas organization has really been in the boot in the gutter. But one thing I will say that I will give this Dallas organization just last year, a week ago, Wale, everybody was all on her as like a top 5 player, and she did just disappear. So they didn't got a pick order of what they want to do. Unlike dumbass Indiana, like that's what I'm saying. That was like, I mean, if Indiana wants to, if Indiana wants to roll with Kelsey, they can more so happily do that. But I think that'd be the dumbest thing that they do because, like I said, watching them play. Their defensive and offensive efficiency is worse. They have more turnovers, and like I said, they couldn't even they was losing to some of the worst teams out there. So I mean, it might fit better for what Stephanie White wants to do. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I just don't I don't see that. You know what I'm saying? I don't see that. They make the playoffs this year because there ain't enough teams and they're gonna play get Minnesota and get waxed. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of the ones. But What's
All
your
right. We're gonna get back to this one because obviously this is a big topic.
what's up?
We're gonna get back. We're gonna devote a whole we're gonna make a whole WNBA show on this one, and because we got it's some more things that I really didn't care for during the All-Star break that I wanted to discuss out as well. So we'll make a whole nother show
You
about
talking
the
about
WNBA on that
the
one.
ladies' all-star break?
Yeah, it's some other things we got to talk about that one.
Oh, all right.
We say that one for another one, man.
All right, yeah.
We say that for another one, man. But this was a great show. It was a very informative. I'm glad, man. We got some guys and ladies out there that was watching, man. It was great to be on with my fellas. We'll have a whole squad. Myself, Ao, Swerve, man, my guy Nelson and Artie. We'll have a whole show. Hopefully, we get one in probably Saturday or Sunday. Obviously, we'll be watching on Thursday to see the unveiling of the Super Bowl champion banner in Philadelphia on Thursday or on Thursday night, man. But it was a pleasure being with my guys, man. We ain't even gonna go through the whole particulars, just where to find us. Please like and subscribe to the Because I Feel Like It podcast YouTube page, to the IG page, to the Facebook page. You know where you can find this, man. And I ain't gonna hold my fellas up. Y'all have a great evening. Everyone else have a great evening. And we'll see y'all later on, man. Y'all take care.
Good evening.
Yes, sir.
All
All
right.
right.